to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in the meantime, let other students join and I'll take the attendance. Pranat Kumar. Pranat Kumar is there? Kumar Utsav. Kumar Utsav. Shelokaya. Swati Singh.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Maisan Singh. Maisan Singh. Amrit Abha Datta. Amrit Abha Datta. I've seen her online.
Ma'am, he's a boy.
Okay, sorry. He is not there, it means. Ayush Raj. Priyanshi Maurya. Priyanshi Maurya. Yamini Sharma. Yamini Sharma. Prerna Shandilya. Prerna Shandilya. Namrata Upadhyay.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Goldie Kumari. Goldie Kumari. Gayatri. Gayatri.
Ma'am, she is facing some issues. She just messaged me. She will be joining.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am.
Yes. Yes,
Gayatri present.
Gayatri. Yes, I have marked. Harshvardhan.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Sunidhi Raj. Sunidhi Raj. Abhinandan. Abhinandan. Samreen Rubab. Samreen. Nikita Chaudhary.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Sunny Gopal.
Ma'am, Goldie.
Present, ma'am.
Please don't speak in between when I am taking the attendance. Goldie.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Sahil Dash.
And Das means present, ma'am. Sahil Das.
Okay, Sahil Das. Present. Nikita Singh.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Balwant Kumar.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Chandrahas Reddy.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Vishal Vijay. Vishal Vijay. Amal Santosh.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Doreen.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Jitendra Singh.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Akshay Gopal. Akshay Gopal Sharma. Hemant Singh.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Mukul Bansal.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anushtita Roy.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Shubham.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Shreya Singh.
Yes, ma'am.
I missed, ma'am.
हाँ सक्सेना.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, Jaya Sharma. Jaya Sharma.
Ma'am, Amrita Datta, ma'am.
Where were you? You left in between. I saw you in the beginning.
Ma'am, वो network fall कर गया, ma'am.
What's your enrollment number?
182, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Alok Kumar Gupta.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ankita Kumari. Ankita Kumari. Okay. Nikita Bhardwaj. Nikita Bhardwaj. Rajneesh Singh.
Yes, ma'am. Present.
Okay. Okay. In the meantime, we'll start the class. So Rajneesh, can you see the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today we would be studying about the conservation of medicinal and aromatic plants and what are the strategies for the conservation. Okay, you can read the slide.
Conservation of medicinal and aromatic plant.
Hmm.
Conservation is defined as the management of human use of the biodiversity so that it may yield the greatest sustainable benefit to prevent
Hmm.
generation while maintaining its potential to meet up the needs and aspiration of future generation. IUCN, UNEP and WWF 1980.
Hmm.
Conservation includes preservation, sustainable use, restoration and enhancement. मैम आगे full form लिखी हुई है ये भी
Okay. You are no, it's not required. You are not well, Rajneesh?
yes yes ma'am cold है
अच्छा ठीक है. Okay, you can mute your mic.
Okay,
So
ma'am, thank you.
conservation से आप पहले पढ़ा है ये word conservation? Can anybody explain what इससे क्या समझ में आया है जो अभी ये रजनीश ने रीड किया conservation का मतलब? Anybody would like to tell? Anyone? क्या समझ में आता है कंजर्वेशन जब हम बोलते हैं किसी भी चीज को कंजर्व करने के लिए?
Ma'am, management of anything we can say.
Management of or
Then the effective and efficient use of anything.
yes, very good. Then
And
these are one
production.
aspects. Effective use of anything or management. Then before you manage you have to just preserve also. It's a part of it. ठीक है जो भी आप यूज कर रहे हो
Ma'am, growth.
सेंस yes
Ma'am, growth. We have to
growth
ensure.
yes, in order to maintain the sustainability it is necessary that we should focus on the growth or the cultivation as in the case of the plants. ठीक है तो ये सारे जो हैं कंजर्वेशन का मतलब क्या है कि हमें ऐसे मैनेज करना है ह्यूमन यूज की हेल्प से जो भी हमारी बायोडाइवर्सिटी है वेदर इट कैन बी ऑफ प्लांट और एनिमल्स सो दैट इट मे यील्ड दी सस्टेनेबल बेनिफिट मतलब सिर्फ प्रेजेंट जनरेशंस ही नहीं जो आगे की फ्यूचर जनरेशंस भी हैं उनकी भी वो रिक्वायरमेंट को मीट कर सके ठीक है तो दैट्स व्हाई कंजर्वेशन ऑफ द फ्लोरा एंड द फोना बोथ are very important but here we would be studying about the focus would be on the medicinal and aromatic plants. Okay, so this is actually the definition which was given by the three reputed international organizations, that is IUCN. The full form of IUCN is International Union for Conservation of Nature. Then UNEP, that is United Nations Environment Program, and WWF, that is World Wildlife Fund. Okay, so and the conservation it includes all these aspects that is first it should be preserved whatever the current availability of the flora and fauna is. It should be preserved, it should be sustainably used, it should be wisely used. आपको इसका over harvesting nahi karni hai, otherwise it would lead to its decline, and you have to restore it. Since you are using it, then it is very necessary that you have to just restore it also. Okay, and you have to enhance it through the multiplication or the cultivation, so that the future generations can also use the plant flora or whatever the flora and the fauna. Okay, so this is the very important definition. Now we come to why we say that the species conservation, particularly of medicinal plants, why it is important. So Aditya, Rajneesh ने पढ़ लिया है. Pooja Nadar है. I'll take the attendance also simultaneously.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Pooja, you can read this.
Why species conservation important? Species conservation is important because most of the medicinal plants either do not produce seeds or seeds are too small and do not germinate in soils. Medicinal plants raised through seeds are highly heterozygous and show great variations in growth, habit and yield, and may have to be discarded because of poor quality of products for their commercial release. Majority of the plants are not amenable to vegetative propagation through cutting and grafting, thus limiting multiplication of desired cultivars.
Okay, so these are the first three points that are given. There are other 2 points that are given in the next slide. Species conservation ke liye kyun, why we say particularly in relation to the medicinal plants, because most of the medicinal plants, as you are studying also, so most of them, they do not produce the seeds, and even if they are producing the seeds are either too small or they are not generally able to germinate at once in the soil. Okay, so that's why it is very important that we should focus on the conservation of these species, either through the vegetative propagation. We should multiply the good healthy seedlings or the disease free seedlings or the high quality value seedlings through the vegetative propagation. And even if they are of the majority of the plants, like it is mentioned, they are also not subjected, cannot be multiplied through the vegetative methods, also through the cutting, stem cutting, root cutting. So we have to find out the alternative methods for their preservation so that they can be conserved. Okay, so the medicinal plants raised through the seeds, the other important point is that even if you are raising the medicinal plants with the help of the seeds, so it has been found that the seeds, they show very heterozygous in nature. So heterozygous ka matlab hai ki they are not genetically stable. So suppose if you have chosen a plant whose seeds have a very good high oil content, but even if you are doing the you multiplying the seeds, and you are during the process of the multiplication and reproduction, it is very susceptible to the genetic drift and shift. There might be genetic changes, and whatever the seeds that you are getting from the offspring, they might not be high yielding. Okay, so that's why they're highly heterozygous and they show great variations in growth, in their habit and yield. So for that reason, you have to discard them, because they may give rise to poor quality products, so they cannot be used for the commercial use. So this is also very important point why species conservation is important. Okay, and the third point I have already explained to you. Okay, then Tampa is there.
Ma'am, Tumpa.
Okay, sorry, Tumpa.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Tumpa, can you read this?
Yes, ma'am. Many plants propagated by vegetative means contain systemic bacteria, fungi, and viruses, which may affect the quality and appearance of selected items. This mass multiplication of disease-free planting material become a general problem. In order to overcome these barriers, conservation of species become important both by ex situ and in situ methods.
Okay, you can use the mic. So the other thing is that most of the plants which are propagated by the vegetative means, there might be the possibility that they may contain they might be infected with bacteria, fungi, or virus. So what happens, they affect the overall quality and the appearance of your whatever the final produce you are getting. So therefore it is very necessary that you should have a mass multiplication of the disease free planting material. So that is a great problem. That sometimes become a great problem if you are not having the good quality planting material. So in order to overcome these barriers, the conservation of species is very important. So basically there are two strategies for the conservation. That is, first is the ex situ method and the in situ method. But third point is, like you can see, there are three scientific techniques for the conservation of genetic diversity of these plants. So first is the legislation that covers the law making of these medicinal and aromatic plants. What are the different laws which has been formulated by the government and practiced in India, under which the conservation of the medicinal plants are being covered? Okay. So, and the other two major strategies are in situ and the ex situ conservation. So we would be studying them in briefly in detail. So first is the legislation. ठीक है, तो legislation. Okay, Atul Kumar is there. Atul Kumar. Surya Pratap Singh.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Surya, you can read it.
Legislation. There are no separate policies or regulation for conserving medicinal plants growing in forest in India. Here, conservation is covered under existing laws pertaining to forestry. These are the laws formulated by Government of India for conservation of forest, which directly or indirectly protects the wild herbal flora. Forest Act 1927, Protection Act 1972, and Wildlife Protection Amendment Act 1991. Forest Conservation Act 1980, Environment Protection Act 1986, National Forest Policy 1988, National Biodiversity Act 2002, Scheduled Tribes and Traditional Forest Dweller Act 2006.
Okay, you can mute your mic. So, like I told you, like legislation is actually what are the laws related that have been formulated by the Government of India regarding the conservation. Now, there are actually, the government has not formulated any separate laws for the conservation of medicinal plants in India. Okay, so these actually plants, they are covered under the existing laws which are already pertaining to forestry, which are already existing in India related to the forestry. तो जो forestry के laws हैं government of India के, वो ही cover करते हैं medicinal plants के conservation के लिए. So they directly or indirectly protects the wild herbal flora. So ये कुछ laws के नाम हैं, जैसे Forest Act है, which came into existence in the year 1927. Then Wildlife Protection Act, that was passed in the year 1972, and it was then again revised. It was amended in the year 1991. Then Forest Conservation Act 1980, Environment Protection Act 1986, National Forest Policy Act 1988, National Biodiversity Act 2002, and Scheduled Tribes and Traditional Forest Dwellers Act, that is 2006. So these are the name of the laws under which these conservation of the medicinal plants are also covered. So you can remember the name of two laws, at least you should remember the name of the two laws. Okay. So now we come to the basic strategy for the conservation. Now first is the in situ conservation. Okay, so we would be studying. I'll ask Shayan Ali Khan.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Shayan, you can read the slide.
Okay, ma'am. In situ conservation. Conservation of a given species in its natural habitat or in the area where it grows naturally is known as in situ conservation. In situ conservation conserves the plant diversity on long-term basis, also known as on-the-site conservation. Example, biosphere reserves, national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, sacred groves, etc.
Okay. Okay, you can mute your mic. So in situ conservation, like as the name indicates, नाम से ही पता चल रहा है कि in situ का मतलब है जहाँ पे उसका natural habitat है, जहाँ पे वो already exist कर रहे हैं medicinal plants on the site, ठीक है, वहीं पर ही अगर हम conserve करते हैं, तो that is the conservation of the given species in its natural habitat where it is growing naturally. So इसका जो एक मेजर एडवांटेज है कि एक तो ये है कि इट कंजर्व्स द प्लांट स्पीशीज ऑन द लॉन्ग टर्म बेसिस, बहुत ही लंबे टाइम तक आप उसको कंजर्व कर सकते हो, क्योंकि आपको कहीं भी उसको ले जाने की या लाने की कहीं भी जरूरत नहीं है. सेकेंड एडवांटेज ये है इन सीटू का कि इट इज वेरी इनएक्सपेंसिव मेथड फॉर द कंजर्वेशन, because you are not taking it, transporting it to somewhere else, you are not maintaining, you are not providing any special environmental conditions. Okay, कोई उसमें chemicals या कोई preservatives you are not using, so that's why this is relatively inexpensive technique. Okay, तो ये examples हैं, इसमें biosphere reserves है, national parks हैं, वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरीज हैं, सेक्रेड ग्रूव्स हैं, ये सब आपको आगे बताएंगे कि क्या है ये, इनके एग्जांपल्स और इंडिया में ये कहाँ कहाँ है. ठीक है, नाउ कमिंग की एडवांटेजेस. ओके, कुणाल चौधरी इज देयर. कुणाल चौधरी. मेघा सिंह.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Megha, you can read the slide.
Advantages in situ conservation. It is cost-effective way of protecting the existing plant diversity, wherein a wild species is protected and preserved in its natural habitat. In situ conservation prevents species from becoming endangered by human activities and reduce the need for human intervention to prevent premature extinctions. In situ conservation of medicinal plants in India can be accomplished through the active support and participation of people who dwell in or near and around the protected forest areas, involve the local mass communities in all phases of conservation programs, such as planning, policy decision process, implementation, and etc.
Okay. ओके, यू कैन म्यूट योर माइक. सो इनके एडवांटेजेस जैसे मैंने बताया कि फर्स्ट तो मेजर एडवांटेज यही है कि इट इज अ वेरी कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव मेथड ऑफ प्रोटेक्शन. सेकंड है कि बिकॉज वी आर लाइक बोटानिकल गार्डन्स हैं या सेक्रेड ग्रूव्स हैं, तो इसमें क्या करते हैं कि जब भी ऐसे कोई बायोडाइवर्सिटी पार्क्स बनते हैं तो द ह्यूमंस आर नॉट अलाउड टू कैरी आउट देयर यूजुअल एक्टिविटीज इन दीज एरियाज. ओके, सो दैट्स व्हाई so this approach helps these plant species from becoming endangered, because there is no human interference in these areas. So the probability of becoming the plant species from becoming extinct or rare, it is decreased to a great level. Then third is कि जो in situ conservation है, it is not actually the advantage कि ये अब इसको गवर्नमेंट कैसे अकम्प्लिश करती है. सो इट इज थ्रू द एक्टिव सपोर्ट ऑफ द पीपल, लोकल पीपल हु आर लिविंग in around that particular forest area, जो conserved area है near their biological parks or these biodiversity parks or sacred groves. Okay, so these are the local people who are residing there itself only, they are asked to conserve, and उनकी active support और participation से जो local masses है वहाँ की, they participate in these conservation programs and they help in this process of in situ conservation. ओके, अब ये एग्जाम्पल है बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व्स का. तो ये यू कैन सी दिस टेबल वेयर इट्स बीन मेंशन्ड देयर आर 7 बायोजियोग्राफिक रिजर्व्स इन इंडिया. Okay, and the first column is the biogeographic region, then the second is the biosphere reserve, third is the area which is given and where it is located, in which state it is present, that particular biosphere reserve. तो जैसे कि biosphere region हिमालय में जो है नंदा देवी है, जिसका एरिया है around 1560 square kilometer, and this comes in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Then Burma monsoon forest है, जिसमें जो बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व का नाम है that is the Nokrek. Okay, and it is located in Meghalaya state. Then Bengalian rain forest में Manas hai biosphere reserve. So you should you can remember the names of this biosphere reserve. And the biggest biosphere reserve that I have been highlighted in red color is located in the West Bengal state, and it is known as the Sundarbans. Okay, और इसका area है 9,630 square kilometers. So you can just go through them. Okay, the other biosphere reserves are Gulf of Mannar, which is located in Tamil Nadu, then Nilgiri and Greater, and in the Greater Nicobar, in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Now I come to the second example of the in situ conservation. Like we use the term sacred groves. Now what are sacred groves? We would be seeing here. Okay, Anjali Mishra is there. Anjali Mishra. Moksh. Kaushik Tyagi. Kela Chiranjeevi is there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can read the slide.
Sacred groves are small or large patches of vegetation protected on the basis of cultural and traditional practices on the religious background, play a significant role in achieving efficient utilization of medicinal plant resources. Example of sacred groves in India. Vernacular name Devbhumi in the state Uttarakhand, and Oran in the state of Rajasthan, Kovil Kadu that is in the Tamil Nadu, and Deovan in Himachal Pradesh, Devarakadu and Karnataka.
Okay, so these are some examples of the sacred groves which are located in different parts of the country. So the states are given and what are their vernacular or the common names are given. Okay, so what are the sacred groves? These are actually they can be a small patch of the land or a large patch of land depending upon the availability. So it is the area where the vegetation of that particular area is being grown and it is being protected by the local people or the tribal communities which are residing there since many years, and they just protect them on the basis because they follow certain cultural and traditional practices. So it is being related to their religious backgrounds or their cultural practices. Okay, and so these sacred groves, they also play a very important role in achieving the utilization in conservation and the utilization of the medicinal plant resources. Okay, now we comes about the how these in situ conservation areas they are managed. So there is actually a separate government which functions under the government of India, that is the National Park Department. एक department है that has been formulated under the government of India, and it is responsible for preparing a policy on the conservation and utilization of medicinal plants इन द प्रोटेक्टेड एरियाज. ओके, अब क्या क्या वो पॉलिसीज बनाते हैं वो हम इसमें देखेंगे कि कैसी पॉलिसीज बनाते हैं. ओके, लाइबा खान इज देयर?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Laiba, you can read the slide.
Management for in situ conservation. The National Parks Department prepare a policy on the conservation and utilization of medicinal plants in protected areas. The policy include identifying which of the protected areas are most important for medicinal plants, target and develops technique for recording and monitoring medicinal plants in protected areas. Third one is devise techniques and procedures for collection and of medicinal plants within protected areas.
Okay, you can mute your mic. तो अब ये पॉलिसीज क्या क्या हैं, उसके अंदर क्या क्या आती हैं. एक तो ये कि दे फर्स्ट आइडेंटिफाई कि विच ऑफ द प्रोटेक्टेड एरियाज आर मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट. जो पर्टिकुलर मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स है उस एरिया के, तो कौन कौन से एरियाज बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, तो उनको आइडेंटिफाई करना. ठीक है. देन द सेकंड इज दे देन डेवलप द टेक्निक्स फॉर रिकॉर्डिंग एंड मॉनिटरिंग द मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स. तो जो प्रोटेक्टेड एरियाज उन्होंने आइडेंटिफाई किए हैं तो उसमें वो देखते हैं कि वो दे डेवलप की मॉनिटर करते हैं कि कितने मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स वहाँ पे ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट हैं. ठीक है, उनकी मॉनिटरिंग करते हैं और उनको रिकॉर्ड करते हैं उनका नंबर की कितने नंबर में वो हैं. ठीक है. थर्ड है दे देन डेवलप द टेक्निक्स एंड प्रोसीजर्स फॉर द कलेक्शन ऑफ मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स विद इन द प्रोटेक्टेड एरियाज. Okay, then the other points are, okay, Menka Shandilya is there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Menka.
The Parks Department determines the number of already existing protected areas that covers the medicinal plants of the country. It creates new protected areas and extend existing ones to ensure that all the medicinal plants of the country are conserved. The Parks Department give economic and social incentives for maintaining natural habitats and wild species. Species that are heavily depleted by overcollection are reintroduced into areas where they once grew wild.
Okay. So the Park Department, what does it do? It determines कि already जो है कितने नंबर है प्रोटेक्टेड एरियाज के जिसमें मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स कवर्ड है. ठीक है, तो वो प्रोटेक्टेड एरियाज का भी नंबर दे जस्ट मेंटेन इन देयर रिकॉर्ड. देन दे क्रिएट न्यू प्रोटेक्टेड एरियाज और जो ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्ट करेंगे. डिस्टर्बेंस आ रही है, जस्ट म्यूट योर माइक. So whatever the extent, what are the existing protected जो already exist कर रहे हैं areas protecting, तो उनको अगर कुछ तो उनको extend करना अगर वो short है, या फिर और new protected areas develop करना. So this also is done under the policy which is made by this park department. Then it gives the economic and social incentives to the local people who are residing there, so that they can maintain the natural habitat and the wild species. Okay, they give certain type of any incentive that could be a social and economic in terms of like they can be employed, the local people are being employed in these areas just to look after them, so they are just giving the opportunity for the income generation and so on. Okay, and the species that they see that they are heavily depleted, that have been reached at the verge of extinction due to over collection or over harvesting, so they are again reintroduced into these areas where those species were already growing wildly. तो जो natural species थी वहां पे due to over collection जो deplete होने के उस पे पहुंच गई हैं, so they are again reintroduced into these areas. तो इनसे related जितने भी policy matters हैं that are look after by the National Park Department. अब हम आते हैं जो conservation strategy की next जो है method, that is the ex situ conservation. Okay. Yeah, Achha
Yes, ma'am. Achha Shri. Good afternoon, ma'am. Ex situ conservation, when the plant species are conserved on long-term basis outside their natural habitat by cultivating and maintaining plants in botanic gardens, parks, or other suitable sites, it's called ex situ conservation. Methods are like preservation of plant propagules in gene banks, for example, seed bank, pollen bank, DNA libraries, etc. Second, in plant tissue culture, repositories, cryopreservation.
Okay. You can mute your mic. So ex situ conservation, जैसे नाम से ही पता चल रहा है कि जब plant species को आप conserve करते हो outside their natural habitat, ठीक है, तो वो कहीं भी बोटानिकल गार्डन पार्क्स में हो सकता है या फिर किसी भी जीन बैंक में हो सकता है, कोई भी आप उसका प्लांट का रिप्रोडक्टिव यूनिट या प्रोपोग्यूल जिसको हम बोलते हैं, सीड उसका या पोलन या डीएनए, सो दीज आर बीइंग प्रिजर्व्ड अंडर आर्टिफिशियल कंडीशंस, ठीक है, या फिर क्रायो प्रिजर्वेशन वेयर वेरी लो टेम्परेचर इज बीइंग यूज्ड फॉर द प्रिजर्वेशन इन प्लांट टिश्यू कल्चर रिपोजिटरीज. सो दिस इज एक्चुअली अ कंजर्वेशन ऑन द लॉन्ग टर्म बेसिस. ओके, अब इसके क्या क्या गाइडलाइंस हैं जो इंटरनेशनल यूनियन फॉर कंजर्वेशन ऑफ नेचर एंड नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज, ये एक इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जिसने इसके ex situ कंजर्वेशन के कुछ गाइडलाइंस बनाए हैं जो हर कंट्री को फॉलो करने चाहिए, ठीक है. तो ये हम देखेंगे these points. Okay, Harish Reddy is there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Harish, you can read this.
Each country should have at least one functional botanic garden. Botanic gardens should set up seed banks for the native medicinal plants and those cultivated in the country. Botanic gardens should set up alternative means of ex situ conservation for those species which cannot be stored in seed banks.
Okay. ठीक है, तो ये क्या बोलते हैं गाइडलाइंस इनकी कि हर कंट्री में ईच कंट्री शुड हैव एटलीस्ट वन फंक्शनल बोटानिकल गार्डन. ठीक है, इंडिया में तो खैर काफी है, बट अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन देयर शुड बी at least one botanical garden that should be fully functional, and the botanical garden should set up the seed banks also for the preservation of those native medicinal plants and also for those which are cultivated in the country, जो बाहर से भी आए हैं जिनके seeds और जो already indigenous varieties हैं उस country की, तो उसके लिए separate seed bank it should be established. Then the botanical garden should set up an alternative means of ex situ conservation for those species which cannot be stored in the seed banks. तो कुछ ऐसे possible होता है कई बार कि seed banks में हर plant की seeds या it cannot be stored, तो उनके alternative methods भी develop करने चाहिए जिससे वो उनको store कर सके. Seed के अलावा अगर कोई भी उसकी वेजिटेटिव मेथड है प्रोपोगेशन की, लाइक स्टेम कटिंग हो गया, रूट कटिंग हो गया, या पोलन के थ्रू हो गया, या डीएनए उसका स्टोर करना है, सो दैट शुड बी alternative method for the conservation or for the preservation of those species should also be there. Okay, so ये जो जितने भी एब्रिविएशंस आ रहे हैं IUCN या फिर जो कंजर्वेशन की जब हमने डेफिनेशन पढ़ी है WWF, okay, so these can be asked in your short answer questions, so you should remember the full form of these abbreviations also, right? So we come to the next, that is the अब examples देखते हैं हम ex-situ conservation का. तो इसमें first है botanical gardens. So Shri Kiran Reddy is there. Shri Kiran Reddy. No. You can do it. Am I audible?
Ma'am, I can't see the slides.
You can download it. अभी तक एक भी स्लाइड नहीं देखी आपने, यही वाली नहीं दिख रही है particular.
No, ma'am, I can't see any of the slides.
Oh God. So why you haven't told me in the beginning? You can download it from the meeting chat. I have already uploaded yesterday. You should have downloaded it in advance. इसलिए मैं जो है क्लास का टॉपिक भी पहले ही मेंशन कर देती हूँ ताकि आप लोग डाउनलोड कर सकें. और I'll upload it. I have already uploaded it in the LMS also and in the meeting chat also in this MS Teams. You can download it from there. ठीक है, आप डाउनलोड कर लीजिए. मैं इतने नेक्स्ट से Nishat is there. Nishat Afza.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can see the slide.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can read this.
Example. Example, Tropical Botanical Garden and Research Institute located in forest of Western Ghats Mountains in Kerala has an excellent example. Hello? Hello? Am I audible?
Okay, students, am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there was some network issue. Let me share the slides again. In the meantime, you can download the slides, those who have not downloaded it. It's taking time to move due to this slow internet problem. It's taking time to change the slides. God. We were on slide number 15. Okay. So who? Yes, Afza, your voice was cracking. Just try. You can. Can you see the slide?
No, ma'am, it's showing sacred groves. Example 2.
Okay. Okay, I'll ask someone else. You can mute your mic. Noria? Noria is there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Noria. Can you see the slide number 15?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can read it.
Ma'am, from the starting.
Yeah.
Botanical gardens play a key role in extensive conservation of plants, especially those facing imminent threat of extinction. Several gardens in the world are specialized in cultivation and study of medicinal plants, while some certain contain a special medicinal plant garden or harbor special collection of medicinal plants. India has a network of about 140 botanical gardens. Example, Tropical Botanical Gardens and Research Institute, TBGRI, located in the forest of Western Ghat Mountains in Kerala, has an excellent example.
Okay, so in this thing, the major important point to remember is that in India there are around 140 botanical gardens. Okay, and these are the major players of the ex-situ conservation, and particularly those plants which are facing a great threat for the extinction. So, and the one of the most important example is given of that botanical garden which is located in Kerala in the Western Ghat Mountains. So the name is Tropical Botanical Garden and Research Institute. So that is TBGRI. So you would be hearing the name of this institute again and again in the other slides also. Okay. Then this Field Gene Bank program, which was launched by TBGRI, this institute, it launched a gene bank program also in the year 1992 to 1999. So it was in order to conserve the medicinal aromatic plant only. Okay, so this field gene bank of medicinal aromatic plants at TBGRI Thiruvananthapuram is essentially a blend of both ex situ and in situ situations. तो ये जो काम करता है TBGRI, तो यहाँ पर in situ की भी facilities हैं और ex situ conservation की भी facilities हैं. Now the second example of ex situ conservation is ethnomedicinal plant gardens. So okay, Bhavna Maurya.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can read this.
Yes, ma'am. Examples of ex situ conservation, ethnomedicinal plant gardens. Ethnomedicinal plant gardens contain accessions of the medicinal plant known to the various ethnic communities in different regions of India. This chain of gardens act as regional repositories of our cultural and ethnomedicinal history, and embody the living traditions of our society's knowledge of medicinal plants. There are estimated to be around 50 such gardens in the country. One of the gardens is located in TBGRI, Tropical Botanical Garden Research Institute, Palode at the Thiruvananthapuram.
Okay, you can mute your mic. So again, ethnomedicinal plant garden क्या difference है जो botanical हमारे gardens हैं कि यहाँ पर जो है accessions सारे मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स की, ऑफ ऑलमोस्ट ऑल द नोन मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स, दे आर प्रिजर्व्ड हियर. अब एक्सेशन से क्या मतलब है? एक्सेशन की आई हैव मेंशन्ड द डेफिनेशन आल्सो, इफ यू कैन सी एट द बॉटम in a small note. So it is a group of related plant material from a single species. तो एक ही species से जो जितने भी related plant material है, which is collected at one time from a specific location, एक particular location से एक particular time पे जितने भी उस plant के single species के related material हैं, so these are they all comprises an accession of that particular plant. So each succession is an attempt to capture the diversity present in the given population of plants. तो इसका जो मेजर एम होता है एक्सेशन का, तो ताकि हम मैक्सिमम जो डाइवर्सिटी है उस पर्टिकुलर प्लांट स्पीशीज की, वो हम उसको कैप्चर और कंजर्व कर सके. ठीक है, तो इथनो मेडिसिनल प्लांट गार्डन जो है कंट्री में 50 है, एंड दे एक्चुअली एक्ट एज अ रीजनल रिपोजिटरीज. तो रिपोजिटरीज मतलब जब भी किसी को जरूरत हो वहां से, तो दे कैन जस्ट गो देयर in these plant gardens and they can just buy them, or they can just get them if any accession, if it is required. Okay, and one of the garden is located again at this Pallur Thiruvananthapuram, that is at TBGRI. Okay, now the third is the gene banks. अब gene banks में क्या है? Okay, Avantika.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Avantika, you can read this.
Gene banks. In addition to in situ and ex situ conservation, long-term storage of seed in gene banks should also be undertaken. The seeds of wild medicinal plants are deposited with the first priority, especially red-listed species and endemic species. The National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resource (NBPGR) New Delhi has already developed cold storage modules. Therefore, seeds can be sent to the Bureau for maintaining this diversity.
Okay, you can mute your mic. So gene banks में क्या है? Gene banks में जो उन seeds की stores करते हैं, particularly that have been listed under the red listed species. ठीक है, और जो एक particular area में present है. Endemic species वो होते हैं जो एक particular area में restricted होते हैं. तो उनको प्रिजर्व करने के लिए लॉन्ग टर्म प्रिजर्वेशन, जिसमें हम लो टेम्परेचर यूज करते हैं, तो वो हम जीन बैंक्स में होता है. और जो मेजर जीन बैंक है इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर इंडिया इज लोकेटेड एट न्यू दिल्ली, दैट इज दिस NBPGR, दैट इज नेशनल ब्यूरो ऑफ प्लांट जेनेटिक रिसोर्सेज. सो दे हैव अ कोल्ड स्टोरेज मॉड्यूल्स, बहुत बड़े बड़े कोल्ड स्टोरेज रूम्स हैं. सो यू कैन सेंड द सीड्स टू दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड दे विल प्रिजर्व इट or conserve it, sorry. Okay, now we see what are the steps for the conservation of seeds in the gene bank. अब हम बोल तो रहे हैं कि हम seeds जो हैं conserve करते हैं gene banks में, तो actual में उनकी क्या processing होती है? सीधा ये नहीं है कि seeds आपने वहाँ पे deposit कर दिए और वो उन्होंने low temperature पर store कर दिए. नहीं, उससे पहले जो है कई सारी steps के through pass होते हैं ये seeds, so that we would be seeing, तब वो store होता है. तो okay, I'll ask Manish Kumar is there. Manish Kumar, Abhinav,
Yes, ma'am.
Manish is there. Yes, Manish.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you see the slide?
Yes, ma'am, I can see.
Okay, you can read this. This is very important also from the examination point of view. You can read it.
Processing of seeds for conservation in gene bank. Gene bank receive exotic and indigenous germ plasm of crops, orthodox seeds, for long-term storage in gene bank. Before final storage, it passes through following chemicals. First one is registration, second seed cleaning and purity analysis, third seed germination, fourth seed drying. Should be always done slowly to prevent seed cracking and damage. Fifth is moisture testing, should be 6 to 7%. Sixth is seed packed in tri-layered aluminum foil packs, usually kept in desiccator containing fused calcium chloride. And then finally, seeds are stored in gene bank. All the information regarding germ plasm stored is properly documented and computerized database is maintained.
Okay, you can mute your mic. So gene bank जो है, it receives both the exotic species and the इंडिजिनस स्पीशीज जो कंट्री में आपके इंडिजिनसली फाउंड होती हैं, जो ग्रो होती हैं, तो उनके जर्म प्लाज्म, और जो बाहर से एक्सोटिक स्पीशीज होती हैं दैट आर एक्सपोर्टेड फॉर द कल्टीवेशन, सो बोथ कैन बी प्रिजर्व्ड ऑन द लॉन्ग टर्म बेसिस। अब लॉन्ग टर्म बेसिस पे कैसे प्रिजर्व होती है? बिकॉज दी पहले उनका मॉइस्चर कंटेंट रिड्यूस करना होता है, फिर उसको फ्रीज करना होता है। तो जरूरी नहीं है आपकी जितनी भी सीड्स हैं दे कैन टॉलरेट सच टेम्परेचर फ्लक्चुएशंस की, ड्राइनेस को भी वो टॉलरेट कर लें, क्योंकि हमें उसका मॉइस्चर लेवल भी जो है 6 to 7% तक लेकर आना है, और उसके बाद उसको फ्रीजिंग करनी है हमें, तो उसका लो टेम्परेचर भी वो टॉलरेट कर लें। तो जो सीड्स ये सारा फ्रीजिंग और ड्राइंग टेम्परेचर्स को टॉलरेट कर सकती है उनको हम ऑर्थोडॉक्स सीड्स बोलते हैं। ठीक है, तो ऑर्थोडॉक्स सीड्स आर चोजन फॉर द कंजर्वेशन इन द जीन बैंक्स। सो अब क्या क्या स्टेप्स है? फर्स्ट, जैसे ही सीड्स रिसीव हुई तो सो दे अंडरगो द रजिस्ट्रेशन। द रजिस्ट्रेशन में उसके सीड्स क्या की कौन से प्लांट की सीड्स है, कौन सी फैमिली का है, कब कलेक्ट हुआ, कहाँ लोकेशन, कहाँ से कलेक्ट हुआ, कौन से सीजन में कलेक्ट हुआ, तो ये सारी डिटेल इंफॉर्मेशन, हु वाज द कलेक्टर एंड डिपॉजिटर, तो ये सारी जो इंफॉर्मेशन है इट इज बीइंग रजिस्टर्ड। ठीक है, देन उसके बाद सीड की क्लीनिंग होती है एंड इट इज एनालाइज फॉर द प्योरिटी की वो जो है हेट्रोजाइगस नेचर की तो नहीं है, कि अगर नेक्स्ट सीजन में उसके जो ऑफस्प्रिंग्स जो है वो चेंज तो नहीं होगा कैरेक्टरिस्टिक, उसके जो उसकी वैरायटी है वो पर्टिकुलर उस यूनिक जो उसका फीचर है इट इज नॉट बीइंग डिसरप्टेड ड्यू टू जेनेटिक चेंजेस इन द जेनेटिक नेचर ऑफ दैट सीड, तो उसकी प्योरिटी एनालिसिस होती है। तो seeds जो है it should be homozygous in nature, not the heterozygous. Then they are tested for the germination, कि अगर आप seeds को हम germination, if they are given the favorable conditions, whether it should be able to germinate and produce the seedling. अगर वो germinate नहीं कर रही है, वो viable नहीं है, तो there is no use of conserving these seeds. तो उनका seed germination test होता है। Then उसके बाद the seeds they are dried. Now dried should be done slowly only to prevent that there should be no seed cracking and there should be no damage to the seeds. ठीक है, उसके बाद उसकी मॉइस्चर टेस्टिंग होती है, और अगर मॉइस्चर ज्यादा है then it is reduced to around 6 to 7%. After the moisture testing and the seeds they are packed in their tri-layer, 3 layers of aluminum foil. Okay, and then they are kept in the desiccator which contain the fused calcium chloride. Okay, and then finally the seeds they are stored in the gene bank. So all the information regarding the germplasm stored is properly documented. तो जितने भी ये steps follow हुए हैं, कितने temperature पे seed को store किया है, all these things they are properly recorded and documented, and there is a computerized database that is maintained. तो ये समझ में आ गया सबको? I'm not able to hear anybody.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. अब जो है जीन बैंक्स कहाँ है इंडिया में? तो ये जो है 3 ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के नाम है। देयर आर द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, दैट इज DBT और डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ बायोटेक्नोलॉजी, दैट कम्स अंडर द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया। इट हैज एस्टैब्लिश्ड 3 जीन बैंक्स इन द कंट्री। तो आपको ये तीनों ही नाम हमने पहले पढ़े हुए हैं। First है NBPGR, that is located at New Delhi, then CMAP Lucknow, and TBGRI, that is Trivandrum. Okay, so you should know the names of these 3 gene banks also. Now, other example है XC2 conservation का। gene banks के बाद है nursery network. तो nursery network में भी कुछ नहीं है important. I'll ask Abhinav Chahal is there to read it. Yes, Abhinav, you can read it.
The most urgent and primary task in order to ensure immediate availability of plants and planting materials to various user group is to promote a nationwide network of medicinal plants and nurseries, which will multiply all the regional specific plants that are used in the current practice of traditional medicine. The nursery should become the primary source of supply of plant and seed material that can be subsequently multiplied by various users.
Okay. Okay, so you can mute your mic. So इसमें तो कुछ explain करने का है नहीं। नर्सरी सबको पता है, हर सिटी में जो है नर्सरीज दे आर बीइंग फाउंड, तो दे प्रोवाइड अ प्राइमरी सोर्स ऑफ सप्लाई। किसी को भी कोई भी अगर सीड चाहिए या प्लांट चाहिए तो दे कैन जस्ट गो टू द नर्सरी एंड दे कैन जस्ट बाय देम। ठीक है, सो दे मल्टीप्लाई the people in the nurseries, they just multiply at the site itself, and they ensure the immediate availability of the plants. You don't have to go to the other city or to these bureaus or centers or the organizations for getting the any seed or the plant material. So you can just go to the any nursery. So there is a nursery network. So currently planting material for 40 species of medicinal aromatic plants जो हैं 40 species, they are available in these institutes. एक तो ICAR है, that is Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and CSAR, that is CMAP लखनऊ. तो CMAP तो पता ही है, that is Central Institute. अभी हमने बताया जीन बैंक भी यहाँ पे लोकेटेड है. और साउथ इंडिया, ये तो हो गया नॉर्थ इंडिया में. तो एक तो CMAP लखनऊ में है, बहुत बड़ा नर्सरी, अराउंड 40 स्पीशीज आपको यहाँ पे मेडिसिनल और एरोमेटिक प्लांट्स की यू कैन गेट फ्रॉम हियर. एंड इन साउथ इंडिया दिस इज FRLHT, that is Foundation for Revitalization of Local Health Traditions. So it is located in Bangalore, and it has set up a network of around 55 nurseries. Okay, so this is an example of the nurseries. Now the next is the community-based enterprises. I think how much is left? Okay, just read it. I'll finish this topic. Tanishq Pratap Singh. Tanishq is there. Tanishq is never there to read the slide. Abhishek. Abhishek is there. I can see you.
Which Abhishek, ma'am?
Only Abhishek. Only Abhishek is not there, but he is logged in. Swarna Rohit.
Yes, ma'am.
Swarna. Who's there?
Yes, ma'am.
Without your names. Swarna Rohit.
Yes, Rohit, ma'am. Hello?
No, you are, yes, Swarna. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can read. Can you see the slide?
Yes, ma'am, I can see the slides.
Okay.
They also aim at the sustainable development of the tribal, rural, poor, marginal women and children through developing various indigenous community-based and people participatory developmental programs. Example, conversion and popularization of farmers' varieties by establishing village-level enterprises. Promote community-level enterprises via value addition to the medicinal plants through simple on-site techniques like drying, cleaning, crushing, powdering, grading, packaging, etc. Current status. 3 community-based enterprises are known in South India. Gandhi Gram Trust, Primary Development, and Vivekananda Girijana Kalyana Kendra.
Okay, you can mute your mic, Swarna. So actually community based enterprise, अब enterprise का क्या मतलब है? Enterprise मतलब कोई भी छोटी सी कंपनी या बिजनेस. तो ये जो है anybody can just make the company if he is really interested in these medicinal and aromatic plants, particularly related to the sustainable development. तो ये जो एग्जाम्पल्स दिए हुए हैं साउथ इंडिया में, तो देर आर एक्चुअली द नेम्स ऑफ द 3 बिजनेस और द कंपनीज. तो एक तो है तमिलनाडु में, दैट इज गांधीग्राम ट्रस्ट. ओके, देन द अदर इज इन केरला, दैट इज पियरमेड डेवलपमेंट सोसाइटी, एंड द थर्ड वन इज इन मैसूर, दैट इज विवेकानंदा गिरिजना कल्याण केंद्र. ओके, तो उनका जो मेजर एम वही होता है कि सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट फॉर द कंजर्वेशन ऑफ दीज मेडिसिनल और द एरोमेटिक प्लांट्स. तो वो जो है रूरल जो फार्मर्स हैं, पुअर मार्जिनल फार्मर्स हैं, या वुमेन एंड चिल्ड्रन हैं who wanted to participate in the conservation and popularization programs, जो भी farmers की varieties हैं, तो so they can participate in this enterprise. Okay, and plus इसके अलावा cultivation के अलावा जो उनको they are being trained for the value addition also. अब value addition जैसे कोई भी आप उसमें they are being taught how to dry the medicinal plant, how to clean them, how to crush them, powder them, grade them according to their quality की जो अच्छे टॉप क्वालिटी का है उसको ग्रेड ए करेंगे, जो मीडियम क्वालिटी का है उसको ग्रेड बी करेंगे, जो लोअर क्वालिटी का है उसको सी करेंगे, ठीक है, इसी तरीके से ग्रेडिंग करेंगे एंड देन देयर पैकेजिंग. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स दे कम अंडर द वैल्यू एडिशन. Okay, so this is the community-based enterprise which comes under the XC2 conservation. Now, इसमें advantages हैं XC2 conservation के. What are the advantages and disadvantages? तो ये भी बहुत important है. Okay, Rohit Chauhan is there.
Yes,
Rohit,
ma'am.
okay, Rohit, you can read it.
Ma'am, I am able to see the slide.
You are not able to see the slide.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Prashant. Prashant is there? No. Alok Kumar? Alok Kumar is there? Tanish Gupta? I am taking the attendance also simultaneously. Tanish Gupta? Tanish Gupta, no. Ravi Shankar?
Present, ma'am. Tanish Gupta.
Yes, Tanish. Can you see the slide? ये आपको दिख रही है स्लाइड नंबर 24? Yes, Tanish, I am not able to hear you. Yes, you can read it.
XC2 conservation, advantage and disadvantages. The primary purpose is that it serves as a source of germplasm for backup in case of emergency. It becomes easier to supply plant material for propagation. Reintroduction, agronomic improvement for research and education purposes from ex-situ collection rather than from in-situ reserves. Disadvantages. The species sample conserved by ex-situ is expensive to maintain and may represent a narrow range of genetic variation than that which occurs in the wild. Species conserved ex-situ can also suffer genetic erosion and depend on continued human care. For this reason, ex-situ conservation must not replace but should complement in-situ conservation.
Okay, you can mute your mic. So advantages मैंने बता ही दिया है कि जो primary purpose है ex-situ conservation का, तो it serves as a source of germplasm. तो कोई भी emergency है, अगर in situ natural habitat में कोई particular plant species conserve या survive नहीं कर पा रही है, तो उस case में we have to adopt this ex-situ method. So it serves as a backup for in case of the emergency. So second point is that कि it becomes easier to supply the plant material for propagation. तो आप अगर कोई भी propagation करना चाहता है plant का multiplication या उसको reintroduce करना चाहता है या उसमें कोई भी agronomic improvement कोई agricultural practice में improve करना चाहता है या फिर research और education purpose के लिए अगर चाहिए, so they can just collect the seeds or other planting propagules through these centers. ओके, तो ये तो हो गए एडवांटेजेस. अब डिसएडवांटेजेस यही है कि क्योंकि it is an expensive process because it requires low temperature storage modules and other chemicals and a special environment, so that's why it is an expensive technique to maintain. And other disadvantages that because you can preserve only a some amount of the plant material. तो कई बार ये होता है कि narrow range you can just preserve a narrow range of genetic variation, not the wide range. ओके, सो वाइल्डली अगर आप नेचुरल हैबिटेट में देखोगे तो बहुत ज्यादा नेचुरल जेनेटिक वेरिएशन आपको देखने में मिलता है, लेकिन आप जब आप प्रिजर्वेशन करते हो ex-situ मेथड से, सो यू कैन प्रिजर्व, यू हैव टू जस्ट सिलेक्ट एंड चूज अ नैरो रेंज ऑफ जेनेटिक वेरिएशन. तो ये इसका एक डिसएडवांटेज है. एक और डिसएडवांटेज है कि दे कैन ऑल्सो सफर द जेनेटिक इरोजन. तो उसके लिए कंटिन्यूड ह्यूमन केयर की बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत है. जेनेटिक इरोजन का मतलब समझते हैं आप लोग?
Ma'am, our next class is started, so can we join that?
Okay, 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 you can just leave the class. Okay, I'll finish it in the next class. Okay, students.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Good day, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, good day, good day.
Ma'am, can you please mark me present, ma'am? I didn't present in the attendance, ma'am.
Why?
Ma'am, actually, I have a bad network connection today, ma'am.